Hi all, welcome, Cynthia here. Today I'm doing a 12 by 12 layout and I'm using up all the scraps from my August kit that I received from Kitaholic Kit Club. Going through looking at all the bits and pieces and the scraps and doing what I am not good at, which is lots of layering. But I see people doing it, so I know it is possible. I know it's achievable. I've watched it with my own eyes. So now I've just got to put it in practice. So just trying to get these to look nice behind the photo. I don't have any full pieces of paper left except for that bottom piece you can see there, the cut apart sheet that has all those little squares on it. That's the only full piece of pattern paper that I have left from this kit. And look, some of these papers may be from the previous month's kits as well. Sometimes if I have a piece of paper left over of a decent size, I generally just keep it in the same drawer that I keep the new kit in. And so I've set that photo down there and I really like the way it looks on this background paper. But as you can see, it's super busy. So there's lots happening in the background now. I've got lots of layers happening, but I still like it. So I think I'm going to call this layout the world's busiest layout. It's pretty bright and colourful by the time I get to the end. But if you watch my videos, you know I do like a little bit of colour. So it's right up my alley. Mind you, this background, this layering, I don't know. Just struggle so much with lots of layers to make it all, I'm trying to make it just go with the flow, Cynthia. They don't all have to be the same size. They don't all have to go from top to bottom. They don't always have to go across the whole width of the photo. So I like this little bit of pop of colour, this little bit of yellow there. I decided to cut that in half and put a little bit down the bottom and a little bit down the top. And it's about this point that I come determined that I need a bigger piece of yellow on the background. So I get up in a minute and go through my stash looking for the right bright yellow cardstock, which I don't have. So I then go through my stash to see whether I can find any yellow paper that I think might do the trick. And I think I've come up with a couple of different bits of yellow. So I've definitely exhausted all those other bits of paper. I decided that none of them are going to work. So this is where I store my scrap paper by colour. And I decided I want a nice bright colour, yellow, but none of those are just quite right. So I put those away. Then I go up to the cardstock and I start going through the cardstock. No, a little bit too dull. So I pull out another piece. I think, oh, this looks a bit better. And in the end, it's the exact same colour. So no, that doesn't work either. Then I pull out this piece here, which is from a paper pad that I have. It's got little pineapples on it with gold foiling. Still not quite the bright yellow that I was looking for, but it's a pop of yellow, and for some reason or other, I've decided that I want yellow in the background. And I think somewhere down the track, you'll see that I actually do find another piece of just plain cardstock yellow, which is the bright yellow that I was looking for, so I put that on there as well. I decided that I'm going to pop the photo up. Oh, there you go. You see now that I've added that other yellow that I was looking for. thought that maybe it is just a little bit too busy, so I'd use some gesso on the background to push those images to the back a little bit, and then I'm going to pull out my sprays and mist, and I'm going to do the packaging technique in, I think I do it in 2 colours in the end. I do it in yellow and in pink. How has everyone been? Has everyone been well? You all managed to do a little bit of scrapping, a little bit of art journaling, project live, traveller's notebooks. There's so many options out there now, isn't there? I've been reasonably active of late, which is nice to see. Trying to keep up with my, no, not trying to keep up. Keep up's not a good word. Trying to keep going with my, so I'm participating in the 100 Days Challenge over on the Scrap Girls, and on their Facebook page. If you haven't heard of the Scrap Girls, go on Facebook and Google them, and you should find a link to their Facebook page. And they have a challenge going at the moment, 100 days, and I'm doing 100 days of music. So I'm trying to make sure I keep going with that. I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. I don't think I'll finish it within the 100 days, but now that I've started, I will definitely make sure I do the 100 days. So I think when I finished this layout, I sat down and did about 4 days worth. I think the idea of the project was to do something every day, which is not working for me, but that's fine. Back to this layout, you see that I've added the mists and sprays to the background in the 2 colours, and it just made it that little bit busier because I didn't think it was quite busy enough. Most of it gets covered up by the end, but you can see little bits and pieces popping out here and there. Going through my ephemera, I had packed all the ephemera away for this collection because I moved on and used the papers and the kit that arrived for September. I actually packed all the bits and pieces away for this kit, so I'm just pulling them back out and thinking I'll use them. But I'm also just going through my stash to see what I can see. So as you can see, I store my ephemera by colour. So I've pulled out some bits and pieces from the green. Not too sure exactly where I'm going with this layout. I shuffle those 2 around for a little bit, and then I go and pull out the yellow, and then I remembered that some time ago I made these yellow flowers for another project and I never used them, so I start putting those around, and yeah, I go quite crazy. End up with yellow flowers and pink flowers everywhere. So the photo is just a selfie of me. I took at work one day. I just got my new glasses that day, and I took a selfie to send to hubby to show him my new glasses, and I quite liked the photo. And I'm one of those scrappers that is quite happy to scrap photos of myself. Can't always get photos of husbands and kids, so I include myself. And I always also think that, you know, if anyone does ever look at my scrapbooks in the future, and I certainly don't scrap for that reason, I scrap because I enjoy the process, but somewhere down the track, if anyone ever wants to look, surely they're going to want to see a photo or 2 about me and what I do as well. It's not all going to be about, you know, just say if it's our son, he surely doesn't want to see everything just about him. He'll want to know what mum and dad's been up to as well. So here we go. I pulled out these pink florals from my stash, and also those other little pink round thingies. I don't know what they're called. I made those as well. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of flowers on this one. And then I just go through and use my hot glue gun to glue all those down. I think it changes up a little bit as I decide to start gluing down. Here we go, I'm starting to see what else I can use. Because I did quite like those Kind is the New Cool and that headphones, which I think says let's do it. Something like that, I quite like those. And gluing away. Now what you don't see me do right at the end, after I glue everything down, I put my title on, and I've just used pink foam thickers and just write New Glasses. I don't do any journaling, I don't do anything else. I just put that down. I didn't think the page really needed journaling. It's nothing other than my new glasses, and I think the title says that. So now I go and try to tuck them all back in somewhat how I had them. So I just randomly start placing bits and pieces around the page. And also trying to make sure that I tuck things underneath each other and or over top to give it a lot of height and dimension. And I think in the close-up photos you'll see how much dimension and height it has as well. Which, as far as I'm aware, dementia. Maybe that's what I have. Dimension and height is probably the same thing, so, but you know what I mean. So tucking them all in, looking nice and busy, busy, busy. I think you can still see that there's a photo in there. Yeah, I have to say this one's busy, even for me. But I've done it, and I don't mind it. I quite like it, so it's staying. Not everything I do has to be perfect. I'm not a scrapbooker that has to have perfection on every layout. As I said, I do it to enjoy the process. I had a ball doing it. Got the hot glue gun out and I glued away like a crazy woman. What more could I ask for? So just pulled these couple more out from my stash. Decided not so much that I didn't have enough. I probably did, but these ones are a slightly different. The others were a bright yellow and these ones were orange, and I'd already put one of the orange ones on. So I decided that I should pull out a couple more of the oranger looking ones to mix them up in there so it just wasn't one. And yes, why not add a few more? I could see there's a few gaps around that needed one. And then you see me glue down these little hearts here, mirror hearts. Tell me, do they have a little film, plastic film on top? Let me know. Anyway, this is the end of the layout. I've gabbled away too much. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for close-up photos. Bye.